I am live, guys. Hello. Oh, let me turn my music off real quick. Just get into the zone. Hello. Y'all hear me, guys? Yeah, welcome again, guys. I'm a Data Podcast. Here to talk about a few things today. My topic is niche effect, strategies for standing out and succeeding. And this is very essential for us right now to actually find that niche that we actually need for our life. Our correlations, our branding, our identifications of actually who we are and actually what we actually stand for in this life. And we look in the world, we see that there's a quick fix on a lot of things that are taking place. And we believe that it's just a natural tendency that everything is so easy and things are not. But there is no quick fix, right? There is no what you want to call a lot of times that instant level of a gratification that we look for, that utopia moment that I talked about. Most of the times I actually have this podcast about utopia moments. I talk about how, you know, we just want things to just run smooth all the time. But strategies for staying out and succeeding in life comes with many trials and tribulations that is not easily foreseen. And it's not really taken to heart on that level because we think that it's just as we go through struggles, or you see someone going through struggles, it's looked at as a negative and it's not looked at as a positive. When we go through refineries, right? If you put gold in the fire and things of that nature, it will come out to its greatest in its purest form. But we don't see it like that. And because we don't see it like that, we can't learn the lessons that we need to learn for our niches to take place and for us to see ourselves basically in real time to bring about this alignment that we need. So, a few strategies of looking at our niches and actually how to get to our niches. I even talked it when I did my description, so you can read the description, you can see certain keynotes, things I put out there. But I do want to talk about a couple of these different strategies. One is actually knowing yourself. That's one of the key niches. I've actually found a niche in life, actually knowing who you are. Get into some type of fundamental principles about what you stand on, what you like, what you don't like, your core values, your core belief systems, your moral compass, things of that nature. Another one is actually willing to put the work in to actually get to your niche and willing to make necessary sacrifices if you actually looking to become a writer in your life. One of the niches is actually having a time set out for you to actually write, right? And allowing nothing to actually influence that time or actually persuade that time that you have actually set out through hell and hot water, so to speak. You have to basically set yourself to that time frame so you can actually be successful in your life. Another point that I actually want to point out that actually allows us to get to that niche is your passion. What is your passion for this life you live? What are you willing to do to lock yourself into that passion? I've always thought that collaborations were a great key for me to move forward, and to a sense, I still believe that. However, I think that collaborations that actually are one-sided are not good collaborations for a business and for an individual to actually grow according to his niche. Because as you're pouring out and pouring out and pouring out, what is being poured back into you, right? What is increasing you in life, right? What is giving you that hot, tingly, warm feeling that allows you to say, you know what, oh man, I can't wait to do this again. I can't wait until Sunday come. I can't wait until Monday come or Tuesday come. Whatever days that you have actually set, I can't wait until 2 o'clock come or 5 o'clock come. Whatever days that you set out, right? You can't wait for those days to take place, at that time to take place, because you have found a key connector to actually who you are. Succeeding is actually the process of connecting to your purpose, connecting to your identity, to your values, to your belief system, to your morals, right? That's what it is. I set out to actually get a master in public administration. I actually got that master's. I actually locked myself in. I strategized times. I took my work seriously, and I fought against all type of hindrances, you know what I'm saying, or distractions that tried to move me out the way. Today, I was talking to a person, he was saying having a master's degree or a bachelor's degree or a social degree means nothing. It's insignificant. A man can have wisdom without those things. And I say, yeah, it's true. A man can have wisdom without obtaining a social degree, a bachelor's degree, or a master's degree. But a man cannot have wisdom without attaining himself to the things that he wants to have in life. So yeah, you can have wisdom, but if you're not willing to strive for that wisdom, to strive for that knowledge, to strive for that understanding, then the point of that wisdom is meaningless. It will not cultivate you, it will not move you to the next level, it will not increase you according to your purpose. So when we looking at life, it's not about the things that we're doing or what we're getting out of life. It's why we actually put ourselves in those situations in the first place that are the defining moments of why we're doing the things that we're doing. There is no quick fix. There is no shortcut. You want to find a way to become successful without actually becoming successful within your mind, your spirit, within your heart of all hearts. It's not going to be successful to you. You may get millions of dollars, right? But without having that inner peace, without having that inner purpose, that money is not going to increase you. It's not going to allow you to be happy. It's not going to bring you a higher sense of awareness. I just put up a link, if anybody can see it, for my podcast. If you want to tune in and talk, this is one of the niches I actually want to come about, is actually inviting random people onto my show. And this is actually keep it fresh, to keep it authentic. I'm not really into questions and answers. That's one of the niches that I created. I'm into having a discussion. I want to talk to you like we're at the bus stop, that we just met in the train station, that we're in an airport. If I just came into a club or something like that, I want to have a natural awareness on dealing with other people, right? Once again, you can tune into my show even from Instagram, anybody, and we can have a conversation about this powerful phenomenon of finding yourself, I would say, in the wilderness of all things, right? How do we find strategies for a new life? I've done counseling, I've done advocacy, I've done motivational speaking, I'm actually an author, right? I have many different traits and talents that I have actually displayed into the world. But every so often, maybe, who knows, when it comes 2 years, 5 years later, 10 years later, I have an inkling to do something different, to find a different facet for life, to create stronger bonds and stronger things of awareness. I want to lock in myself with my children on a higher level. I want to have intimate, deep conversations, you know what I'm saying, with my children in the world because they will also belong to the world, they belong to the universe, and they also have what I believe that spiritual composition that I want to know about. I just don't want to know my children on a carnal level. I also want to know them on a spiritual level. I want to know some of their deep thoughts or deep insights. I want to know how they would treat their women or how they would treat their men or how they would actually elevate with their children in the world. These are things that's essential to me. These are niches that I actually want to experience and I want to know, right? Because it's essential for me to know this. I want to be able to say, I know my son, I know my daughter, right? I know my children. Because if anything comes up in the world, I want to be a person that says, you know what, I know their integrity. I know their moral compass. I done had these intimate conversations with them, and I don't want to be excluded from this world that's actually a part of their world. What is that effect of finding your niche? Let's explore that for a minute. What is it going to do for your life once you're able to find this niche? You know what I'm saying? For yourself. It's going to open you up. It's going to let you have a deeper vibration and a deeper understanding of who you are and what you can actually become. And I will tell you this, what you have been denying yourself. We deny ourselves life all the time. We don't really use the life we have for ourselves. We're caught up in elements of life and we want life to be crafted in a particular way, other than the way that it's moving. What is a normacy? What would allow you to actually just stay a normal person and just go through life as a norm? Or do you want to have a life full of excitement, full of wonders, full of surprises, good surprises, but we also have other surprises that will shake us up, wonders that will shake us up and say, yo, what am I doing? I'm going in the wrong direction. I need to be going over here, but I'm going over here, right? How do we find this core element of succeeding within our own personal lives and actually bringing forth this level of collectivity, what I'm saying, for us, right? And I believe the importance of who we are is the importance of what we can become in this world, right? Um, one second. And all these things that we strive to be, they're just different elements that allow us to come to a core senses and allow us to make the necessary changes that we have to make in order to get to new plateaus, to walk across new bridges. You know what I'm saying? And solidify different changes that we will actually require in order to strategize and stand out according to our levels of success. Succeeding in life is not just a word, it is a principle, it is a process, and it's not going to take place overnight. My podcast today is going to be basically like a half an hour. I don't got a guest today, and I constantly do that when I don't have a guest. I actually streamline it to a half an hour. And this is one of the niches that I'm looking at and perfecting because I see that there's a wealth of knowledge, there's a wealth of understanding, and there's a wealth of love that's in this world that as people we have to tap into. We have to know that we have what it takes to be successful, that we have what it takes to stand up, what I'm saying, in the face of change for our own lives and not always looking outwardly to actually gain that level of success, looking for within, putting that core element, structure ourselves in a way that we cannot be easily moved And when we go through things, instead of those things decreasing us, they increase us. Even if those things have a decreasing element to them, we do not allow those things to seep into our spirit, into our bones, right? And got us all discombobulated. A level of change that we need is actually working with people and working in situations that will expand us to a different horizon. You know, we live in a world now where everything is moving fast, people are moving fast, situations are moving fast. People just want things in the moment and not taking the time and the principles to actually learn what those new things are that they're actually trying to seek out. I've been doing this podcast for over a year. I've been going through so many different changes while I've been doing this podcast. And sometimes I'm like, oh man, I don't want to do it no more. Right. But then I say, you know what? This is a part of who I made myself to be over a year. And even when I was in school full time, I continued on with doing my podcast. I've learned new things. I met new people. I found new strategies and new approaches to actually elevate myself as well as elevate others according to their path, according to their genres that they actually identify themselves according to. And as I went through this path, it renewed me in spirit, renewed me in mind. It increased my hope, it increased my faith. It also expanded my understanding and my wisdom of the world and what it means to connect and what it means to find a connector that's within you, to find that outside resource, right? Those outside tools to connect to, right? To empower you to this new level of understanding, this new level of love, passion, of empathy that you have to provide to yourself. One of the things about finding niche is that it's something new and experiencing new things. You have to move out the old things in order to get to those new things. If we keep these old things, it's like Christ said, you know what I'm saying? Surely isn't in vain to attach a new patch to an old garment. So a lot of times as we moving into new niches and trying to find that effect that's going to empower us, we hold on to old things that's in the world. It can be old relationships, it can be old belief systems, value systems, just people in general, or just practices and methodologies that we have learned along the way that these things work, but they have been not working in our favor. So now we have to move those things so they can become favorable to us because if we don't, we will lose some keynote steps in our lives as we're moving forward and as we're creating this new synergy for our lives, right? There is no point where we want to live in the old, but we want to be a new. You know what I'm saying? We want to go through a refinery without actually going through the refinery. We want to be purified without actually being purified, right? A person would say, I want to fast, I want to fast, we never fast. So actually, the fast never took place. I want to sing, but never go and sing. They don't even sing in the shower, right? They have no propensity and no deep understanding of how to get to that core and bring that core up to a new surface, right? And even surprise themselves as they're increasing. And even as they're decreasing, as you're decreasing, you're seeing the things that was in your life that had no meaning, that had no purpose. And if we let the process just move freely and move according to its own will, a lot of things that attach themselves to you that is not for you will move out of the way and allow you to see new sceneries, allow you to see new insights, you know what I'm saying, and new things of hope without contemplation, right? How do you increase? Without awareness on different realities, how do you magnify yourself to a new level? Being locked into old systems and that these systems are what work. If you believe that anger will allow you to get to what you got to get to, if you believe anger is going to allow you to get your message across, you'll constantly use that terminology. You'll constantly use that vibration when that vibration is not conducive. If you believe that faith is the methodology that you can use to break through all barriers, then you would tap into that faith even when things don't seem like they're going to work out for you. You'll tap into that faith, you know what, and say, you know what, that is something that I can do. I just have to give myself more patience. I just have to provide more harmony in my life in order for the faith that I have about life, about my life in particular, to blossom and remove these things of doubt, remove these things of decreasing natures out of my way. Because in essence, I have the essence that's within me to automatically become successful, to automatically stand out in my new life. And as I'm creating this new life, it's not going to become easy to me. There's nothing that's going to move these things, force me out the way. I have to gradually move these things out the way. It's like when I was studying martial arts, they say, you know, don't use force, be light as a feather as you're trying to maneuver and how you're interacting, because the person that's using force, you can use their force against them to move them to a whole new plateau while you're still stranded firm and you have your solid foundation. A lot of times, like we're changing, we want to be forceful and extremely aggressive after doing these things. No, we can't do that. We have to be at peace. We have to be at peace as we're looking into new, basically what you was called new dimensions for our lives, new spheres. Where these new spheres open up, sometimes we just get a glimpse of it, and if we don't grab that glimpse and make it wider and longer, right? Then we'll lose it. We'll lose that glimpse, and now we got to wait. Hopefully, that it will come back to us. So now we can pounce on it and we can do what we got to do with it before it can make sure that we get to this new level that we're looking to get into. Without this, without this desire to be different in our lives, without the desire to open up new portals for our lives will not increase on new levels. We'll keep fighting the same battles over and over and over and over and over again to no end. It's like I ran into a man the other day in the train, and the man had his hand was swollen. And I look at his hand, I said, wow, man, you know, what's wrong with your hand, man? He said he got into a fight with somebody. I said, oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, brother. You know, he said the man had said something to everybody and he took an offense to it. And I said, well, you know, as you're growing in your life, many things are going to come against you. You can't entertain all those things that come against you. You have to fight against those things. Somebody might say something in the crowd, you say, well, it don't pertain to me because I don't identify myself as this person. I don't identify myself according to this concept, according to this belief system or value system. So I'm not going to put myself involved. The man here was told, I said, yo, you got to go to the hospital because you're going to wind up losing your hand. And I said, you'll come out of what you're coming out of, let's say 5 years from now, 10 years from now, maybe in a year or 6 months from now. Imagine coming out of your difficulties without a hand because you didn't want to go to the hospital when you injured your hand because you're going through something that's going to allow it to take a physical manifestation against you, right? And cripple you in a way where it didn't have to. Got medical centers all over the world where you can actually go in places and other people would assist you in preserving your life on a physiological. And then we also have spiritual teachers that actually teach you how to preserve your life on a spiritual level. So whatever we're going through, right, at this particular moment, do not make it our life story. Do not make it seem like this is always going to be a constant. I'm always going to go through this. I'm never going to be able to change, right? Do not put that type of energy on your person. Regardless of what you're going through right now, you're going through it right now at this moment. But you can decrease out of that moment. You can move that moment behind you and look at greater terrains, right? If you're not seeing true vision for your life, take walks. You know what I'm saying? Do meditations, do fasting. You know what I'm saying? Eat more healthy. Appreciate the little things that you have in your life. And don't always look for all these grandiose things to try to define you. Because as these things that you use to define you move out of the way, you go back into that same situation of being undefined. And now you got to fight more, harder to get back to a place where you can actually benefit from your own life and see the value of your own life in real time. And when we don't see these, and when we don't step into these different venues for our lives and these new portals that's open up in our lives, we use the vantage point of taking control of certain elements in our lives so we can actually store up our blessings in heaven so we can reach back to those things when we need them, you know what I'm saying, secure us on this heavenly plane. This is not all about the physical life that we're living. We're also living a spiritual life, as I told the man. I said, this is a spiritual life as well as a physical life. And if you're only looking at the physiological aspects of life, you're missing the whole point of what this life consists of and what this life can actually be. He said, man, I'm tired, brother. I'm tired. He started crying. I said, yeah, brother. I hugged him. I said, yeah, brother, I know you're tired. We all tired in a certain way, but you got to fight through that. I said, this is the time to fight for your life. It's when you become tired, when you're exhausted, when you feel like all the women knocked out of you. This is the time that you fight. This is the time that you basically tie your boots up, you know what I'm saying? And you get the jogger because you want to lose 50 pounds because somebody told you that you're overweight and you don't look good anymore, right? When you take off all the makeup off your face because you was using it as a beautifying solution, and now you can say my true beauty is what I was born with, and this is my beauty, and not some element that a man or woman had made to actually define my beauty. We don't want to look into the specters of our lives, but we want our lives to be this grandiose concept. We want it to be a spectrum that we can believe in, that we can value, that we could cuddle on our arms. But then we don't want to go through the process to actually get into that space where you say all things mean nothing, but they also mean something at the same time, which means that nothing in the world can actually identify me because there's nothing in the world that identifies me because I am me. When we get to these certain planes now people that's offended by their own lives and not tap into their own lives, we become offended by our lives and the new channels of energy that we actually seek to bring into this light. And then people try to control and dictate the steps that you have to take in your life because they have no control and dictation of their own lives. And now this is when you get into a purpose. Now you're locking yourself into the niche of your own life, that effect. I'm saying what they would call the Mandela effect. This is when you get into that space and you're like, well, what's going on here? You feel like you're in a dream, like this is some type of mystery, right? And it's some type of illusion. But it's not. It's not. It's actually that point that you have tapped in to unknown space that has brought enrichment to your life more than any diamonds, jewelry, gold, or any dead presidents that's in your pocket can actually provide for your life. I've been in weird, dark places in the world, and I wouldn't wish those places on even my mortal enemies. And in those spaces, I found men that glorify the things they did against society. But then after 5 years or 10 years, they regretted those things because now they're seeing that they have to pay a lifelong penalty for those things they did against society because it's who they are that did it. It was that didn't take place by itself. They tap into unknown causes, whether it may be negative or positive, and actually reveal that part of themselves into the world. And as a result, they had to pay the ultimate consequence, years of their lives inside spaces that they cannot move now. They cannot be on a creative flow that they actually want to be on. And when you look into your life, regardless of what you're going through, actually go through that and make amends with that. Make peace with whatever you're going through so you can find yourself on the other end. So you can springboard into a new element of life, strategizing for your life, stand out and be successful in your life is a key element that all of us have. No man is greater than no man. No woman is greater than no other woman. We are all life forces in this world. I walk through the trains. I walk through the bus. I see people frowning their face at me because of my complexion or what kind of man I was born into the world. No one created me, right? So because no one created me, I cannot allow anyone, you know what I'm saying, to basically eliminate me in the world, to diminish my insight or diminish my purpose in this world because no one created me. And as I transition from this plane, no one's going to transition with me, right? It's not a pact, right? We're not all joined at the hip. You know what I'm saying? When you move, she move, just like that type of energy. We're not into none of that. Those things don't take place, right? You have to move in your own spirit in your own life and have joy and substance for that life, and not start keep attaching yourself to all these days of principles. You got men at 60, 70, 80, 90 years old. They accumulated things in the world and they won't let those things go. They come and try to take other things from other men, even though they know they transition into a whole new plane. They still won't allow those things to go, and they still won't bring forth life into the land. And as we transition, where do we transition to? What does that transition look like? We held on to everything on this plane, and we didn't tap into anything on the spiritual plane, and we didn't give out any spiritual gifts, any spiritual vibrations. We didn't store up any gifts on a spiritual level. When we get to that level, we get to that other plane, what will be waiting for you? What did you store up there so it can be waiting for you when you get to that certain plateau? What is it gonna be? When you take everything, you got all your energy, all your systems for life, and only apply it here, then what are you applying for that next step in your life? Just like on this plane here, if you have friends, the Most High says in the scriptures, if a man has friends, he must show himself friendly. What does that mean? That means that friend is not about um, great opportunities. Friendship is about the woes, the destructions, the mayhems that's going to take place in the lives of your friends. And that you, at this particular time, because you said that this was your friend, and now you must step up to the plate. You might have to donate some money. You might have to donate some time. You might have to donate some energy. You might even have to pray and fast for and with your friends to ensure that they come out of these dark spaces that they're in. If you're just looking for this positive friendship all the time and nothing can go wrong, and we can't have an argument and we can't have disagreements, then you don't have any friends. If you're looking for a friend to follow your lead and to always look at your direction as being ultimate direction, you don't have no friendship. The only friend you are is to yourself and not to the others. You can make yourself believe that you're friends to others, but you're not. This is about understanding that at the core element of things that you must show up, not just for others, but also for yourself. We're selfish sometimes with our lives. We're selfish with our money, with our energy, with our purpose, with our values, with our belief systems. We're selfish with them, but we want somebody to be so open to us. We want somebody to give us all things and everything. But when it comes to us to pour in back into those that poured into us, all of a sudden we got this brick wall, right? And then we're looking to see, who's gonna bounce off the wall, who's gonna keep coming, and then we're gonna make a thicker wall, and a thicker wall, a thicker wall, till no one can actually get into our space because this life only pertains to us. When we fall and we at our bits end, somebody got to come and provide for us. Someone has to come and make the world a better place for us. And it doesn't work like that. That's not the element of friendship. That's not the element of having children or having mothers or having fathers, grandmother, grandfather, things of that nature. Is that these things are about connectivity. If we come from each other, then I mean we must also embrace each other and increase each other on the same level if we come from one another. I didn't come from of myself. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a metamorphic being that just popped up in the world, right? I came from another entity, and I also, under the blessings of the Most High, was able to help other entities come forth into the land. I don't know. I don't own none of these entities. I was used as a passage, as a portal to help those entities find a new space in the world. You know what I'm saying? And now I can connect with those entities if they choose to come back and connect themselves to me. If you're looking for me to be perfect, you're going to be sadly disappointed. If you think that I'm the being of all beings and the light of all light, you're going to be sadly disappointed again because I'm none of those things. I'm an element of life with a different vibration than others, and my vibration may not sit well with others, and their vibration may not sit well with me. But the beautiful thing is actually sitting to a vibration that does not fit well with you, so you can understand if you're out of that vibration. So that vibration ever comes up again, you know how to deal with it. because you have taken the time to learn the process of that vibration. But if you free from all things that you don't understand, then you're gonna understand nothing. If you look at some grandiose moments and some utopia moments, they're not gonna take place in your life because you're not willing to sit down and learn the lessons about who you are. This is the need effect. It's actually willing to go through the trials and tribulations, willing to go through the good times and the bad times about what is revealed to you about who you are in real time according to real substance. There's another scripture that says this: if you admonish a righteous man, he shall love you. If you admonish a wicked man, he shall hate you. People a lot of times they don't want to be admonished, but want to be recognized as being a person of significance, a person of value. But when some people point out certain things to them, they can't take it. They can't take the truth. You got to take the truth of your own life. You got to know when you're failing. You got to know when you're succeeding. You got to know when you're going down a rabbit hole. You got to know when you're coming out of a rabbit hole as well. This is the process of life, of tapping in to all those different things that's going to allow you to be an essence in your own life. That you can stand up and you can stand out and you can succeed in the darkest of hours. And don't look for anyone to give you awards and accolades and tell you that you was amazing and all the different things. The same way somebody can empower you, they can also decrease you. Locking ourselves in and being who we are is the essence of being who we are and locking ourselves in. The beauty of who we are is who we are, what we can become. If everything is about give me, give me, give me, and everything is about touchy feely, right? What would you allow to come to you to give you a new substance for your life? Who? Who or what? I meet people every day. Like I said, I just have conversations with people every day. I don't know them. I don't ask for their phone number. A lot of times I ask you for their name. We just have a conversation, and that's it. A man might see me reading a book and say, "Yo, brother, I like that book you read." I say, "Yo, appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it." Right? I might give him a title of the book. I might tell him, "Yo, go get this book for yourself." You know what I mean? Not for you. You and I can sit down and talk about it later on. 'Cause I may never see you again in life. It's the fact that I'm spreading light and I'm spreading love and I'm spreading joy and I'm spreading knowledge and wisdom. Because one day somebody has to also do the same thing for me. Pour out into the world, pour into yourself. Learn about who you are, the different things that you're going through, the different channels that you have to partake in. You know what I'm saying? Dive into the unknown things. Don't say this is not for me or that is not for me. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Do the things that's going to make you uncomfortable. Learn from those things that you never saw a value system in before. And I'm going to tell you, something great is going to come out of these things. With that, guys, I didn't even mean to speak this long. I wanted to speak longer than I expected, but I just got caught up in the moment. And I think that's one of the things with the niches too is that once you get caught up, you can't stop that easy. And this is when you know that you're on to something. This is when you know that you found something. This is when you know that there's a value to what you're doing in this world, and that value at the end of the day is you, not looking outside of you, but looking inside of you to find about who you are. Not looking for the accolades of friends or family members, you know, to make sure that you come to the essence of who you are as a person, but taking the time out to looking into your own life and looking into yourself, and going through those trials, going through those tribulations, going through those good times, those bad times, you know, getting new garments, you know what I'm saying, for your life, throwing away the old ones. Someone can use those old ones, you can use these new ones as well. With that, I'm Adada signing off. Hope to see y'all. Please subscribe to my YouTube channels on my Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and reach out to me if you want to become a guest. Great talking to y'all. Peace.